I ran Nate Jones' ringer pattern on a real business decision. It did 6 weeks of vendor research in an afternoon. By Rick Camp of No Doctrine. Last week, Nate Jones published a piece I haven't stopped thinking about. Stop waiting for AI you can trust. His argument, compressed, hallucination isn't the deal breaker everyone treats it as. It's a line item. The way embezzlement became a line item once double entry bookkeeping made fraud cheap to catch. You don't wait for a trustworthy agent. You build the books around the untrustworthy ones, independent workers, executable checks, a written constitution of what done right means, and an appeals process so the checks themselves stay honest. I've been running AI agents in loops and orchestration harnesses for months, recurring maintenance loops, multi-agent builds, adversarial review before merges. So I wasn't starting from can agents do work? I was starting from the problem every orchestration user eventually hits. The work comes back plausible, and plausible is exactly the problem. One agent researching a vendor gives you a confident answer. It does not give you a verified answer, and for decisions with real money attached, the difference is everything. Here's the decision I pointed it at. I'm building a consumer subscription platform, and I'd reached the stage where the whole business stack had to be chosen for a paid public launch. Cloud platform, the AI layer powering the product's intelligence, secure storage for sensitive user media, payments, with a hard rule that card data never touches my systems, identity and MFA, first-level support with human escalation, marketing, operational tooling, and the legal/compliance posture. 9 categories. Every one is the kind of decision founders burn weeks on. Tab sprawl, stale pricing pages, vendor claims you half verify, and a decision journal that's really just vibes with citations. So I applied the ringer pattern to it, not Nate's literal repo. I borrowed the institution and ran it on the orchestration harness I already use, a written constitution first. Before any agent ran, I had testable criteria on paper. Every recommendation must be purchasable today, generally available, not roadmap, priced or quotable with a URL, security attested if it touches sensitive data, cost modeled at 3 growth scales, and justified against my actual unit economics. Nate's framing is exactly right. The prompt for large work is a standard, plus a way to check it. Twin workers, independent. 2 researcher agents per category on a mid-tier model, neither able to see the other. Independent derivation is cheap redundancy. Where the twins agreed, confidence. Where they disagreed, a fact to resolve at the vendor's own page. A truthseer per category, a separate verification agent on a stronger model whose only job was adversarial, refetch every load-bearing citation and kill anything that didn't hold. Not, does this look right? Fetch the vendor's page and quote the line. A judgment bench above it on the top-tier model that never typed research. It only ruled, merge the verified material, rank a top 3, declare a winner, and correct any check that was itself wrong. That appeals process is the piece of Nate's design most people skip, and it's what kept my verification layer honest. A recursive loop. Each round's winner became the baseline the twins had to beat next round. Convergence equals 2 consecutive rounds where nobody could. Hard cap at 50 rounds. Every category actually converged in 3 to 5. The numbers, because Nate's piece runs on receipts, and this one should too, 136 agents, 34 research rounds, about 13 million tokens, roughly 2.5 hours of wall clock time. My hands-on involvement, commissioning it, answering 4 scoping questions, and reading the verdicts, call it 2 hours. And the books caught things, which is the entire point. A worker cited a model throughput benchmark, the verifier refuted by refetching the source. The conclusion survived, the fake precision didn't. A worker attributed an ISO certification to a vendor. The verifier found it actually belonged to the vendor's data center operator, exactly the kind of claim that sails through a human skim. One worker's cautious claim was checked against the vendor page and found to be underclaiming. The appeals process corrected the check in the worker's favor. The rules got audited, not just the workers. And the system itself failed once. Informatively, 4 categories died mid-run on an identical error. Same signature across 4 agents equals process defect, not bad luck. Diagnosed, rebuilt. The fix. Stop passing giant payloads through prompts, let agents hand off through files on disk, and the rerun executed 32 for 32 clean. The failure taught me more about robust orchestration than the successes did. What came out the other end? 9 category verdicts, each with a ranked top 3, the case for and against every option, cost models at 3 growth scales, contract writers, price locks to demand before an acquisition closes, vendor settings that must be flipped before launch, reopen triggers, and, unexpectedly, a handful of urgent findings about my current setup that had nothing to do with the research question but had real money and risk attached. On the saved me weeks claim, here's honest math instead of a vibe. A serious single-category vendor evaluation, research 5 to 8 vendors, verify pricing and compliance against primary sources, build cost models at multiple scales, write a defensible recommendation, is 15 to 30 hours of focused human work. That range is real, and the verification step is the part humans routinely skip because it's miserable. 9 categories puts the manual equivalent at roughly 150 to 250 hours. 4 to 6 working weeks for one person, done to a lower evidentiary standard than the swarm hit, because no human refetches every citation twice. I got it in an afternoon for a token bill that rounds to lunch money against what a consultant would charge for one category. What I'd tell people already running loops and orchestrators, the upgrade isn't more agents or a smarter model. It's the 4 institutions Nate named: the audit, the org chart, the constitution, the appeals process. Applied to work you were already delegating. The agents were never the bottleneck. The books were. Nate's piece and the guide with the runnable setup, ringer and ringside. Adopt the books.